Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Barricade. I'm Lor.
I'm Maddie.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We had an episode last week. And this one, we are out with you. What? Nope. This episode, we sit down with Ty from State Champs, Ty Shredsall.
Is that his actual last name?
Nope.
Okay.
But what if I would have said yes?
I would have believed. Okay. I had L'Oreal do this intro because I don't know how to say Ty's last name. And I couldn't even, you could have said yes and I would have believed you because I just know it starts with an S. And then there's a lot of letters after that.
Ty Shredsall. Call him that.
I'll call him that from now on.
That's it. That was actually his I don't know if it was like Twitch or whatever during the pandemic. He would do like live streams. And so Shredsall just like stuck and like fans call him that. It's a funny thing.
All right.
I think he's in my phone as Shredsall or something like out of annoyance of it all. But yeah.
Yep. That's his legal government name now.
That is his government name.
Back in the Barricade.
Yep. Yep.
Perfect.
I love it. That's a way to kick this one off. But yeah, today we sit down with Ty, longtime friend. We talk, I don't know, do we talk about it a little bit in the episode?
I don't think we give the backstory. L'Oreal has known the Champs guys for a while. Do you kind of want to give a backstory of that?
Bluff, the whole bottom line up front of it all. I've known Derek and Ty for like 14 years or something like that.
Because you guys grew up in the same area?
Northeast. Yeah, they grew up in New York. They're from upstate. I'm from New Jersey. But we met like during like the college years and stuff. Their first tour, my ex went on that first tour with them. And so very much them playing to each other. That was my introduction.
Just empty rooms.
Yes, empty rooms, playing to them in like the basement camp. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was my intro of State Champs. Like my favorite songs that they would play would be like during this time. I still hold on to that. I get mad at Ty during the episode about this. We talk about what defines an album, like a full.
Oh yes, anyway, we do.
Listen to that.
Y'all have an argument over that.
We do. But yeah, no. So I've just known them as that casual like fan, but like more of a fan of them as people. And then just watching them rise and become more known and more popular and people really catching on and experiencing them has been the fucking most fun ever. Gets really trippy when you're walking around Target one day and you see them on the TVs and it's like, oh, what? Yeah. How did that happen?
Those are my friends. I know them.
Yeah. But they stay the same like throughout all of this. Yeah, they're still the same guys. They are still stupid as shit, but yet we love them all the same. Just boys. Yeah. They are the boys of State Champs. Yeah.
That it's so funny that you like have known them throughout their like quite literally their entire career. Because before we knew each other, I was obviously like just a fan of State Champs. Like loved their music, had seen them several times. I can't remember how I found them. I think they opened for a show that I went to, and obviously were incredible and have been a fan for years.
Yeah.
So it's just a funny like full circle. I feel like they've always just kind of like been there.
Yeah. Also a little full circle for us. It was the first band I feel like that we shared a pit together where we have the same picture of Derek.
And we did not know each other and did not realize it till later on when we met and realized that we had taken almost identical photos of Derek together.
Here's Maddie's. And here's mine. Boop. If you're not watching the video, you have no idea what we just did.
Yeah.
Anyway, we literally have the same picture of Derek, same pose, everything. And I remember walking into your office and because you have it printed. It's a great photo.
Do. I have 4 photos printed in my office that I took that I'm very proud of. They're all black and white photos that I have hanging on one wall. And one is of Ty. Or nope, not Derek. Of Ty. That photo of Derek that we just showed you. Obviously didn't put together that L'Oreal knows him. And then she walked into my office. She's like, there he is.
I spent the night one night after a show and I just like woke up and I was like, there's Derek's leg. It's
a good photo.
It's a great photo.
I was very proud of it.
You should be.
Thank you.
Anyway, we're not going to dive too much into this because if you know Ty or anybody of the Champs, they are such normal people, I feel like. And they love to yap.
Yep.
They're great talkers.
Yep. I feel like so many episodes were like, it was like talking to a friend. This was quite literally just talking with a friend. So we yapped a lot.
Yeah, we did have to stop the cameras and then pick them back up and like re-record. Not re-record, but like restart them because
we ran out of time.
The time limit was hit. Yeah. But yeah, Ty was one for the girls today. It was a great time.
Yeah, and it was really cool because it was the day after their album release, second show of tour. So
we did double duty.
Yep, we did. Yeah. L'Oreal went to Austin to see their first night on tour, which was also album release night. And then I was at Lincoln Park the night before.
Yep.
So we kind of split.
Came to Dallas the next day.
Yep, did night 2 in Dallas together. So that's where this interview took place.
Yeah.
So we talk a lot about that in the episode. So we'll stop yapping now and
dive on into this one.
Yeah, dive into it. Here's Ty of State Champs, who I still don't know how to say his last name.
Shreds all. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. I am Lor.
And I am Maddie.
And we are going Beyond the Barricade today with...
Tyler.
From...
State Champs.
Excellent. Nailed it.
We're on night 2 of tour.
Night 2.
Here in Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah. Night 2. Night 1 was yesterday. It was awesome. It feels great to be back in the saddle. Mm-hmm. We haven't headlined in quite some time. So
I was going to say, when was your last headlining tour?
I think it was the Kings of the New Age tour in like 2022.
Damn.
Because we haven't toured the States in a year, and the last tour was the Boys Like Girls tour. So yeah, it's been a while, and it feels nice. You know, it's cool to go out there and play to a room of your fans. Like, supporting has its role too, absolutely, but it feels good, and it makes me feel good to be able to just like step on that stage knowing that the people watching are there for you.
Yeah.
It's less of a prove it situation, more of like
it's
let's just go fucking crazy. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Awesome. And it's such a cool tour, I feel like, for y'all to kind of re-enter headlining, because you put out an album yesterday on night 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Which is amazing. And we're going to talk a lot about that.
Oh, great.
But before we do, we are going to go back a little bit.
Let's go back.
Go back.
So one thing that we like to talk to everyone on our podcast about that we think is obviously important for everyone in the music industry, music fans, is kind of how you became a music fan. And one thing we wanted to talk about is there someone in your life who kind of introduced you to the music that you're a fan of now?
Yeah. Great question. My mom is a certified rocker.
Whoa.
Love that.
My dad used to be, and no shade, Dad, but like you probably won't even know that this came. He like doesn't have social media. He's like your classic dad. Like
that's amazing.
Have you seen that meme? That's like it's like a dad's keyboard and just a bunch of thumbs up, and then the space bar is like your mom is divorcing me or whatever.
Yep. Yes.
My dad kind of has that energy. Like, he sent my son a birthday card, and I was like, "Hey, like, we got the card for Clark. Thank you so much." He thought it was really funny. It had like 3D like shark teeth on it.
Clark is also 3.
Yeah, he's 3.
Yep.
And he just goes, he was like, cool. And then the next day he just sends me a picture of a fish he caught. He was like 16-inch flounder.
Yes. That is such a dad move.
I was like, sick. Sorry to tangent on my dad. But, but yeah, my dad and my mom were like rockers in the 80s. They used to go see like U2 and one of my mom's favorite bands at the time was Typo Negative, which is just like pretty hard. Yeah. Also, ironically, one of Derek's mom's favorite bands.
I love your mom.
Yeah.
What a bonding point.
Our moms rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like rock has always been like around my life. I will say though, like I don't have the story. Like I get jealous of like the guys who are like, yeah, me and my dad in his pickup truck listening to Megadeth, dude. It's like I don't have like that. I don't have like the metal thing, but like my mom loved like Earth, Wind and Fire. And she always used to take us to like, you know, I mean, I'm sure there's one here, something like it, where there's like an area, it's like adult focused and like bands play. And it's like ours was, what was it even called? Basically, it was like on the river, and it was free event. You'd go, you'd watch a band, and she'd bring me to those all the time. I think because she also just wanted to like, you know, have a couple drinks with her friends. But
had to bring the kids along.
I do remember like the moment I always choose is, I don't know if you two remember this, but I think it was called Columbia House, and used to get CDs in the mail.
Yep.
And then if you kept it, you had to send the money back, or you could send the CD back.
Yes.
It was like Netflix for music in the very early ages.
Yeah, like OG Netflix.
Yeah,
like DVDs in the mail.
Yes. And we got a Linkin Park CD.
Hell yeah.
And I'm gonna expose it. And is Meteora the first one, or Hybrid Theory? Meteora. Okay.
God,
I think you're right.
Okay.
That's
whichever
so
one is first. I'm so
all
sorry.
3 wrong.
I mean, yeah, and they also played here last night too.
They did.
So
I was there.
Oh, that's sick.
She wasn't at the show.
Yeah, whatever.
That is why I missed opening night. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I'd rather go see Linkin Park instead of us too.
Anyway, so you get a Linkin Park CD.
So I get a Linkin Park CD, and like we keep it, and I just thought it was like the coolest fucking thing. I can swear on here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought it was like the coolest fucking thing, and like you know, like I'm like reading through like the booklet, like all the thank yous. And I'm like, man, I want like flame tattoos on my arm, like Chester Bennington and like the whole night. I want a lip piercing right here.
Yes.
I was just like, I was so enthralled with the whole thing. I also really liked professional wrestling. So I'm realizing right now in this moment that I probably just really liked dressed up, like cool, you know, alternative things. And we kept that CD. And then the next one that came was Slipknot.
Amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah. And she let me keep that one too. I don't think she really checked it because my grandmother checked it and she was like, why are you letting him listen to this stuff? Like she read through the lyrics of Wait and Bleed and she was like, what are you doing, man? But
how old were you at the time?
Dude. I had to be like 7 or 8.
Amazing.
I mean, I have a 7-year-old son and like, I'm not letting him listen to Slipknot.
I love that.
Actually, to be fair, I do let him listen to pretty much whatever he wants. Like he went through a phase of loving to listen to Danger Wild Man by the Devil Wears Prada.
Amazing.
So like, you know, 8 a.m. on the way to school, it's like, I know. And he just thought it was so sick. But yeah, so like that was like my intro to like, I think what I liked versus like what my mom wanted me to like. But, you know, she supported it and obviously bought the CDs and stuff. And then she would, like, as aforementioned, would take me to concerts. And I think it was 2005, American Idiot came out. American Idiot, or maybe 2004. And they did a tour. My mom got us tickets. They played Albany, New York. Thank fucking God. Nothing really ever came there.
Nothing goes to Albany.
No. And at the time, that's when I had like a MySpace. And that's when I was getting into like scene music. And I was really into My Chemical Romance.
Amazing.
And like, I remember like being on the computer and looking up like My Chemical Romance's like MySpace, and it said that they were playing the show, and I was like, "What?" Like me having no understanding of like a tour package. I was like, I thought only Green Day was going to be there. You know? So I got to see My Chem with my best friend Mark. My mom brought me and Mark and my brother, and we got to see My Chem open for Green Day. And there was this moment in the Green Day set where they bring a fan on stage to play a song. And I was in like the upper bowl, you know, we weren't like on the floor. And I was like so jealous. I was like, because I'd taken guitar lessons for like a year.
Okay.
And, you know, I learned like When I Come Around is one of my first songs. You know, it's like 4 chords, easy. And I was just like, I could do that. I want to do that. This is so cool. Like they should have picked me. And yeah, that was like a huge moment. And then the next year, Good Charlotte did, I think it was a...
so great.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, no. Sorry. Good Charlotte.
Yeah, just the ADD like latch onto the noise.
That'll be a great.
We'll fix it in
Hayden,
post.
I'll fix it.
Thanks, Hayden.
Thanks, Hayden. Yeah, so Good Charlotte comes to town, and my mom gets us tickets for that too. Like I didn't have to ask, which was really cool. Very powerful moment, right? Like.
She was really like fostering it for you.
I did leave out my first ever concert, which was the Creed Human Clay tour. I was very young.
They're touring again.
Yeah,
they are touring again.
They're here next week.
Yep.
Ironically, I met Scott Stapp here at this venue.
No way.
We played in this room, in the Cambridge room with We Are the In Crowd in like 2014. And Scott Stapp played the big room as Scott Stapp, not as Creed, obviously.
Okay.
And we all like camped that door out there and like waited for him to come out, and I got a picture with him.
That's
Unfortunately,
amazing.
I look insane because it was 2014 and I had long hair and no fade or whatever.
Yep.
But like, it is an epic pick. But 1995, I think that was, dude, I was like 4. I was born in 91, so... They had like pyro and all this, like the whole nine. I was scared. I asked my stepdad to go to the car. I was like, Lou, will you please take me to the car? Like, this is freaking me out.
I'm in danger.
Yeah. And that's why we don't do pyro. No, we just can't afford it. It's too expensive. But
Tyler's traumatized.
Yeah. So like, I guess like concerts have always been in my life. I got to see Good Charlotte. That's what I was saying. And they had Mest and Something Corporate opening.
Wow.
And I think Something Corporate might maybe played like first or second, and watching Andrew McMahon like be punk rock with the piano was also like, fuck, this is cool,
when they
man.
have a prop
like,
element, it's
he's like standing on it and like doing all this shit, and there's stickers all over it. And again, I'm like, what am I in 2005, 14?
Math, yeah.
Like I'm a new teen, and I'm like raging against the machine, and I'm everything's wrong, and there's hormones everywhere. Yep. And I'm seeing this guy like take a piano and just make it fucking cool, and not like the lame ass shit you do in music class. Like I whatever. And I was like, and that kind of like opened my brain to like, oh shit, like you can take these things and you can do other things with them. You don't have to just do what your music teacher taught you. And on that note, like so many of the people that I've met or that I've toured with that have gone through music school find it to be more limiting than helpful because like while it provides context to like the decisions you're making with your song, they also find it sometimes to be a prison because they're too focused on following the rules.
Yeah, it's like a structure.
So from the jump, never went to music school. Took like a year of guitar lessons. I quit the guitar lessons because he kept teaching me like songs that I thought were like boring, like Jet, Are You Gonna Be My Girl or whatever. I was like, dude, I want to learn like Senses Fail and As I Lay Dying. Like what the fuck? And then he like recommended me to a new teacher, but like I think secretly my mom wanted to stop paying for it because when I was like, Mom, we're gonna switch teachers, there was never any follow up from her.
There was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
So I guess like just to finish my young journey here, like with playing guitar and becoming a musician, I actually played bass first. And State Champs is the first band I've ever played guitar in. I've been in 3 other bands and I always played bass.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so when I think it was like a fairness deal, my brother really wanted to play guitar and my mom was like, oh, well, we'll get Tyler a bass. So the teacher that I just mentioned, he would teach for an hour, 30 with Ryan, my brother, for guitar, 30 with me for bass. Ryan was 3.5 years older than me, 4 years older than me. He was like, no, like I just don't want to do this anymore. So I took over the full hour. Gotcha. And then it just became only guitar. And I played his guitars. And then like after I wanted to move on to like metal guy, after that, my mom like no follow through, no new teacher.
Lesson stopped.
So I started doing guitar tabs. I learned all of Let It Enfold You by Senses Fail. And I was like, playing my shitty like Epiphone SG, like just ripping, just having the time of my life.
Looking up guitar tabs on the family computer.
Yep.
I feel like
we're all like a similar age. You know what it was like back then. It was like, I don't know, it's like kind of isolating. Like, and I was like, cool, I can like play guitar. I used to play a lot of video games, still do. So it was either guitar or video games. And like, I think guitar just became this like fun creative outlet, whereas video games are more like mind numbing and like, you know, just stupid.
When did you decide to kind of take that more seriously and like actually start a band? Like you mentioned how you had like 3 little bands before and then you started State Champs because you and Derek are the only I feel like founding members of the band. So,
and to follow up on that, was music like something that you always knew you wanted to pursue, or did it just kind of happen as you were going through all this?
Yeah, so I started a band when I was 13. I mean, honestly, to kick it back even further, I used to I had this friend named Zach who was a drummer, and I would he was like lived 2 streets over, and I would like wheel my amp 2 streets over and like, like from my dad's house, I'd come over and we would like jam. And it was some of like the craziest shit. And when I think back, like it was a bass player and a drummer just making noise. But like, I guess that's how it all starts, right? Like, so there was that just obviously nothing happened there. But then I started a metalcore band with my brother. And amazing. And ironically, 2 of the members of the band Drug Church.
Oh, really?
So the drummer Chris and the guitar player Nick of Drug Church, we all went to high school together.
That's funny.
Yeah, we've known each other forever. And we started a band together. They actually had a band before that, which I was like low key jealous of because they got to like play like the talent show and all this stuff, and they would do like an I'm Not Okay My Chem cover and like whatever. Like Chris is having a show in his basement. Like 10 of the kids from school are there, and we're like, fuck yeah. But then like that ended, and then we started a metalcore band together. Was in that for like 2.5 years. Then my friend Jordan, who was in a pop rock band named Last Minute Letter, he was like, hey, like, you're a really good bass player and we need one, like local scene politics. And I like didn't really want to play metal. It's never really been my thing, which is, I don't like have any negativity towards metal, and I like some of it, but I just wanted to play pop punk so bad. At the time, I was like obsessed with Hit the Lights, like that first record was out.
Skip School. Wait, no, that was before Skip School.
This is a Stick Up, Don't Make It a Murder. I was like, yo, like this shit's so sick. I want to do stuff like this. And then I joined that band with Jordan, who's like still a dear friend. And I was in that band, and then we all turned 18 and like, going away to college. I mean, respectfully, Jordan, you were going to school 10 minutes from your parents' house. We've talked about this. This is not news to Jordan. But like the band broke up because like, oh, we're going to college now. It's like a high school girlfriend. It's like, I just like need to like go see what's out there.
Yes. So dumb.
Yeah. And then I actually started State Champs like right after that at 19. And one, I wanted to stop playing bass. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I really want to play guitar. And this is actually like making me feel like a little bit emotional because I haven't really like rehashed this journey. So forgive me if I'm being long-winded.
Love it.
But yeah, like that was back when I was like stoked on everything. Now I'm 33 and everything feels horrible. And it's like the world's on fire and like, you know, whatever.
No.
But back then, like there was so much like
you're optimistic.
Yeah, there's so much joy and like there's so much optimism. And I thought things were cool. And I was like, I want to play guitar. Guitar's cool. It's cooler than bass. Sorry to my bass players out there.
Ryan is so great.
Ironically, this is the first band Ryan's ever played bass in.
That's very true.
Ryan's really a guitar player
yeah.
by trade. And now he's a pretty damn good bass player, if I'm honest. Yeah. The guy's got some crazy fills on this new record.
Fills, crazy stage presence.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
But continue. Yep.
Yeah. Stage presence, man. I used to have crazy stage presence. Now it's just me up there. So I have to like lock in like crazy. I don't have another guitar player to cover for me.
Yeah. But anyway.
Anyways.
Yep.
What was I saying?
You were getting emotional. You were saying about how you wanted to play guitar.
I wanted to play guitar. So me and Dave Fogarty, our original guitar player, we played a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 together.
Hell yeah.
And that was back, I think it was like, this was in 2009, 2010. So like the early days of like Wonder Years, Man Overboard, all that stuff. And we both really liked it. And you know, like we were like, yo, we should like start a band like that. We should do like a pop punk band, you know, like whatever. And Dave was the guitar player in Derek's first ever band. So I've known Derek since he was 12 and I was 13. Our bands used to play together. His band was named Lexington. Mine was named The Unkempt Murder. Horrible. Whatever. Fuck it.
Fine.
We ball up top. We used to play shows together and like mosh to each other's bands in these church basements. So like Dave was like, oh, like, yo, I'll ask Derek if he wants to sing. And then we grabbed a couple more guys and, you know, but it was really me, Derek and Dave that were like the driving force and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, of course. Yeah. Because I was just going to college and working as a pizza delivery guy. I had,
as one does,
all the free time in the world.
Yep.
And we really just started the band because we wanted to have fun. We wanted to be a different like sound in the area. There were like, okay, so Albany scene, very hardcore, very metal, some punk, and I mean like real punk.
Yeah.
And
I was going to say, explain, because not a lot of people know about the East Coast scene.
Yeah, so like being like a pop punk band, you're not accepted by really any of those things. There was like some punk bands that would do basement shows and took a little bit, but we actually did like play one of those basement shows eventually. But you know, when you first arrive on the scene as like some dudes from the suburbs and you're like, and they see the word punk, like the old heads get mad.
Yeah.
There was like, what the fuck is this? But essentially, we really just wanted to play local shows and we didn't really put much thought into any of this. I mean, the band's named State Champs because we booked a show. We didn't have a name. We had like 4 songs and we did a Fall Out Boy cover. First cover we ever did was Reinventing the Wheel to Run Myself Over.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Shout out Bogies in Albany.
Yes.
Closed now.
R.I.P.
But yeah, so like we started the band, needed a name, and Derek was like the cool kid who like threw after parties.
Yep.
And his high school girls basketball team won the state championship. And they were going around the party that he threw going, state champs. And of course, there's bands named Title Fight and all this shit. And we're like, oh, sports names, cool, state champs. Yo, that actually has like a nice sound to it. We should probably do that. And we just put it on a flyer and then...
Here we are.
Never changed?
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
There's a couple other names in the mix that I can't really remember. But like, I remember Derek, if you can't tell, he used to be like a big, Emarosa fan. Like, he obviously draws some inspo from Johnny Craig, or did at one point. And I remember him being like, no, I want it to be like a name that like sounds cool and unique, like the name Emarosa. And we were like, okay. I was like, I don't think we can come up with that because we're not like dramatic like that.
It is a very exaggerated name, I feel like.
It is, yeah. Or to do any sort of project like that, I feel like you have to, I mean, what you see with us is what you get, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that is like the very long-winded version of that story. I'm sorry, but.
Don't be.
No, that's great. Yeah. So I want to fast forward a little bit.
Absolutely.
Or a lot of it to now.
To a lot.
Solid 12 years.
Yeah, just 12 years.
12 years, few albums here and there.
Yeah.
5 to be exact.
And y'all have obviously just put out self-titled State Champs album yesterday.
State Champs by State Champs.
State Champs by State Champs.
In collaboration with State Champs.
With the
sponsored
help
by State
of
Champs.
State Champs.
Yes. So
in the more, sorry.
I really love the album because me and L'Oreal have had this discussion. It's so like quintessential
so close.
State Champs. That was such a big word for me.
Yeah.
I almost got it.
Almost.
So I'm curious if y'all have like kind of drawn inspiration throughout the years, like if it's changed or if it's kind of stayed the same or kind of how you've honed in on your sound.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 5 records deep, you would hope to have it figured out by now.
No shade.
Well,
We're always just figuring it out.
We are.
think that,
you're constantly figuring it out.
Of course, yeah. And I do think that there are some like pitfalls that people fall into. Like, obviously, our first record kind of popped, put us on the map.
Wait, okay. What do you consider your first record?
Oh, yeah.
Our first full-length record, The Finer Things.
Okay.
That is our first record. That's our first full-length record. Apparently, I'm Nothing is 9 songs. An LP is defined by 10 or more.
Okay.
At least according
He's getting
to
definitions out.
At least according to the contract I've signed with Pure Noise Records.
Yeah, there it is. Keep going.
Yeah.
I have gripe with that, but it's fine.
That's it technically. Apparently, Nothing is 2 EPs put together, and us being kids, like us being like, oh, we should put the 5 songs we already recorded at the end of these 4 songs that we just did. So it's not a record. It's technically an EP. It's not long enough to be a record.
Okay.
Our first record was Finer Things, put us on the map. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted.
Before L'Oreal decided
This
to
is
disagree.
our podcast. I have
and
opinions.
I'm your guest of honor.
You are a guest of
You're a guest in this house.
No honor.
I'm the
No
guest
honor.
of dishonor.
Yep.
And then,
Band name.
so
Sorry.
it's true. And then, so when your first record pops, there's like can they do it again? It's like always the question floating around.
Yep.
Despite their best efforts, we still did.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
Around the World and Back was even bigger. That was like World Tour with Neck Deep times. Third record, honestly, I think it's underrated in our catalog. I do think it's respected. We've done some of our biggest tours on it, but I feel like people don't, like fans, like they hold the early stuff as like the nostalgia stuff. They don't hold on to like Living Proof as that, at least not yet.
Yeah.
And then the fourth record, whatever. I mean, I don't have any shade of it, but it's not really an important part of the story.
Yeah.
I guess I was saying all of this to like share that there are these every time you put out a record, there's always this pressure to like do it better.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think some bands fall into this trap of like, well, you have to do something different.
I was about to say, you kind of have to reinvent yourself or try to reinvent the wheel every
Which you don't have to do.
You really don't. Nobody asked you to.
And I think y'all have done that so well. And I can hear a song and I'm like, that is a State Champ song.
Right. And then, there's also like, you have a sonic brand and you have to like uphold that sonic brand, like there are some bands that we toured with, 8-10 years ago that are now like, indie rock bands, or some have been like, I mean, even looking at a band like 4 Years Strong, who have been doing it for twice as long as us, like their new record is like drawing inspo from like industrial stuff. And honestly, I think it really works for them.
Yeah.
I don't, that is not to say that like they fucked up. I think that's actually like a great move for them. They've shifted slightly in a direction that feels like them still.
Yes.
But I think that we can all tell it's like elevated from that original, like, Rise or Die Trying.
They like don't
easy
lose themselves
sound.
in the process.
Yeah, exactly. But like some bands do. And I guess, in a pressure cooker situation, what are you going to do? Who are you going to be? So, another long-winded answer, but yeah, like with this record, pretty much make or break at this point. The last record did well. It didn't not do well, but it didn't do enough.
It also, though, I feel like everything, because when did that come out technically?
May of 2022.
So it was like off of COVID.
Or was it 2020? 2022, yeah.
I feel like everything kind of like in that weird time zone.
Everything was fucked.
Gets a wash.
Yeah, everything was super weird.
Yeah.
I mean, even to mention 4 Years Strong again, their last record came out around, or a little bit before ours.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And I don't think it got the love it deserved because of the pandemic and everyone was so preoccupied, which is also like why I'm a little concerned where things are going right now, because like if like politics in the world is occupying so much of your brain, you don't leave a lot of room for like fun and art.
Yeah.
But so like fourth record, it just like didn't push us anywhere. It just was. And that's okay. It maintained us.
Exactly. It kept you afloat.
But we never want to feel like we're losing progress.
Exactly.
So like when it came to this record, every metric was beaten. Luckily, we had pre-saves, pre-orders, whatever, streams, all of it. Like the label was super happy sharing these metrics with us. Like, hey, you guys are so much further ahead than you were last time.
So I feel like then you kind of had a chip on your shoulder a little bit, kind of going into like the making of this album and about to like release it, like, was there anything that you guys kind of kept in the back of your mind while in the writing process of everything to be like, no, you were just fucking sending it?
Yeah, when we send it, it's not for anybody else but us.
Yeah.
So like when it comes to this record, like we did approach some things differently. We definitely like, we definitely stopped caring as much about like, I guess certain things.
Good.
You know, like if something just like felt right or sounded good, we weren't over analyzing, which we've done in the past. We definitely tried to keep it like a little more, you know, natural.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan.
Hello, Ryan.
There's definitely one over here somewhere.
Yeah, you might have to walk that way. I love this room.
There's definitely like, there's not really like a lot of spite. I mean, there's spite in the songs, but it's not, that's like about a person or an event, not like, has nothing to do with like us being like mad at the pressure or like pissed at the fans or whatever. Like,
well, speaking of the fans that you're so angry at. Just kidding.
Not angry.
Not angry at.
That's the soundbite out of this podcast.
I know, right? I'm so worried about context.
Context is so important, everyone.
I know, we lost it. It doesn't exist anymore.
We're bringing it back right now.
Context is back on the menu.
Here it is. Yes, context is in the room with us. The Champs fan is so heavily engraved in this band. I feel like I have people that still come up to me and be like, wait, I remember seeing you at the show X amount of years ago. And I'm like, holy fuck, you're still a fan, first of all.
We ran into someone walking the street over here that has seen y'all 8 times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Since 2014, I think.
There will be someone here tonight that has seen us 170 times. We gave her a cake at her 100th show. We actually have a few fans that have seen us over 100 times. We try to get them a little memento.
Is the fact that y'all have played 170 shows is impressive.
I think I've played over 1,000 shows at this point, unfortunately.
That's crazy.
But I was going to say, is there like a certain memory that you kind of remember, like the first time where people started to like recognize you guys and like be like, holy shit, like, wait, this is kind of bigger than what
where
we
you
thought?
felt like you had a fan base that was following you and not just people that showed up to a show.
So,
not just the basements.
No, of course. Yeah. So I didn't feel like I accurately answered the last question.
Okay.
Oh, go back then.
When it comes to like self-titled and how we just kind of like we didn't even try to go for like bigger producers or whatever. We worked with our friend Anton, who has done some huge shit, but like it felt comfortable. And I think that was also huge for us. Like, you know, with Living Proof, we worked with John Feldman. We were driving to a mansion in Calabasas and then you're seeing like platinum records all over the wall. And there it is intimidating.
Yeah.
You know, but when you go to your friends, like essentially like a home studio, it's like it's in his like, you know, 3rd bedroom in his house.
Amazing.
It was just really comfortable and good. And I think we really just like did it for us. I think the last record was a little too stressed out, and this one was a lot more like we tried to reconnect. We went to Joshua Tree. We spent like I think like a week and a half there. We wrote, I mean, like Safe Face Story was written there. The Constant was written there. And we just like, I don't know, we just wanted to, no pun intended, like take it back to basics, you know, like that's something we try to keep in the back of our minds, you know, like making sure we are doing it for the right reason and nothing feels like contrived or shitty. So the first time we like realized we had fans, we started touring full time in 2012, and there was definitely like fans, but it wasn't like fan base. It wasn't like stan mode.
You guys were
They're
like,
not like following you around on tour.
From like the little perspective that I had, you guys were like the one band that were like doing it. And so it was like, like Champs is like coming here like a weekend or whatever. And so it's like, you were that band. Yeah,
and it was like a bunch of like bro dudes. And like that, it was like cool to like pile on your friends.
Exactly.
And blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But then We Are the In Crowd took us on tour in 2014, which I mentioned when I met Scott Stapp here.
Yep. Yes.
And
the big moment.
That was our first like entry into, I mean, that is like stan culture. Yeah. Like we got Tay Jardine, and like she's adored by the masses, and as rightfully so. She's a fucking gem.
Yeah,
she's amazing.
But like that was our first like real tour. Everything before that was like maybe a little bit of an older crowd. You know, we supported Bayside at one point, and like I love Bayside, but like I don't think their fans loved us. I think their fans were like, who are these young kids? Like whatever, get out of here. whatever, but we got to do like what felt like a very current, very awesome tour. And there was like this group of fans that like would like found out about us on the tour. And, we're a very social band. At that point, we used to go out after shows and like meet fans and whatever. And like, we noticed that these people were like following Weird In Crowd. They were following that tour around. And then like, we just kept talking on the internet, whatever. And then we did Warped Tour right after, probably like the sickest, like 1-2 punch you could do at that time, supporting We're the In Crowd in like 5 to 1,500 cap rooms, jumping right into your first ever Warped Tour with your record out. Like, and, those same fans came back on Warped Tour.
Nice.
And they did all the meet and greets, and they came to like a week or 2 weeks of Warped Tour. And it's like, oh shit. And then we did our first ever headliner right after, like the Pure Noise tour. It was us and Handguns. And same thing. Cool. They like multiple people kept coming to multiple shows. And we were like, oh fuck. Like this is
it's actually happening.
People are like bringing gifts, and you're like, why do I deserve a gift card to Starbucks? Thank you. But like, I mean, special treatment always makes me feel like, what did I do to deserve this? Because like, I don't expect anything from anyone.
That's a trauma podcast later.
Yeah, that's coming up on Beyond the Therapy.
Mind, Beyond the Therapist.
Beyond the Mind. So that was like 2014 into 2015. And then 2015, we did another huge tour. We supported All Time Low. More stand culture, more fans that liked us. We fit a lot better on that bill.
Sure.
Than like, Bayside or Motion City or whatever. Those ones were obviously important, but these ones meant more for our career.
Yeah.
So, supporting All Time Low and like, again, multiple people, multiple shows, social media is going crazy. Like it's our first time. It's our first time in a vehicle where we're not driving ourselves.
Here it is.
It's our first time in a bandwagon.
On the van floor.
Yeah. Not sleeping in the gutter next to the door, praying it doesn't open.
Yep.
So that was the moment.
I love that.
Yeah. And, there's, I think actually some of those fans are from right here in Dallas.
So it's going to be a big reunion tonight.
I'm not sure they come anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what you would have to do.
Now?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
It's nothing personal. I saw this group of fans I'm talking about. I'm not going to dox them here, but I saw a few of them at When We Were Young. I was watching Cartel and they came up and tapped me on the shoulder and I had a little conversation. And it was nice to see them, but a couple of them do still come, but a couple are married, full-time jobs, kids.
Yeah, once you get married, you have to stop going to shows.
Some people do. Some people get married and move away.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Couldn't it be me?
Yeah, you're born and raised right here.
Dallas, Texas.
I didn't even realize when it came out of my mouth.
Nope.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, like shit happens.
Yeah,
and like, I mean, I'm 33. I started this band when I was 19. And
I don't have to say that out loud.
So like, life changes and whatever. But like, yeah, that was the OG. That was it.
Life is so long. Yeah. I hate it.
It's so long. We're only like a third of the way through, dude.
Damn.
Only a third of the way through.
Do you have any like sort of like crazy fan stories that pop into your mind of just like even whether it
or
be
a favorite gift that they've given you? Since you mentioned that.
Derek got an otter last night. Not a real otter.
He was given a real live otter.
I was so ready for that to be.
The Dallas Stars.
The fan that gave him the otter, her name is Kara, and she's the one that's at 170.
Oh my God.
Is she going to be here tonight?
I want to say because
we got to talk to her.
She's from Cincinnati.
Okay. So surely she would go to both Texas.
You would imagine, yeah. I honestly don't know. I know I like shouldn't know that stuff, but she's like, yeah, the next VIP you'll see me in Cincinnati. I'm like, I remember that.
Okay.
But she might be around at some other shows is what she was saying.
That makes sense.
But like we try not to like, when we go out to the show, it can be distracting for the bands playing. So we don't really like go to merch or whatever. That's like one of the cardinal rules of touring.
Yeah, they won't catch you at merch.
Do not do a meet and greet at merch when a band is playing.
Yep.
Even if you're a support band, even if, if Daisy Grenade or Meet Me at the Altar or KP are at merch, it's like, we're going to ask you not to do that.
Yeah.
And
don't draw people away from
there's so many weird little like lessons you learn along the way, about touring and, expectations and stuff. But you also just like when it's framed to you as like, essentially you're just like being rude accidentally, of course, like not on purpose. But also like if it's not a big distraction, like I've been playing and I've seen it happen. And I've also been in the crowd, like watching a band I like and someone's like, yo, can I get a quick pic? And I'll just be like, hey, like, let's wait for the song to stop at least.
Yep.
And we'll just like get it really quick. So like, we're not dropping the hammer on anyone.
No.
But yeah. What were we talking about?
Any crazy fan stories?
Right.
Or favorite gifts? Can you top an otter?
I absolutely can top an otter.
You said easy.
No, I mean, I've gotten some really thoughtful stuff. When me and Tegan announced that she was pregnant with Clark, fans were very sweet, giving like gift cards and like outfits and stuff like that. But a really thoughtful one that comes to mind, I forgot who orchestrated it, and I'm sorry if you're watching, but somebody had, I know Tati was a part of it, but like, I forgot who actually physically gave it to me. But basically, like, somebody had gotten fans to send their either favorite or first champ
told me about
shirt
this. Yes.
to them, and then they made a quilt out of it.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. So it's like all champ shirts.
And they made two, one for Easton, one for Clark, and Easton sleeps with his every night.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's really thoughtful. And like, I mean, like we still have it. It's great, you know, and as I get older, the more I want to preserve everything I can from this era of my life, because like, whether or not this is cool to my kids when they're like 14, that's one thing. But like when they're my age, they're going to think that this is cool objectively. So like, I want to hold on to stuff, and I want them to feel special. I mean, like, we've let Easton go out and check the drums during changeover, and fans like pop
let him
off.
Sign records.
We let him sign records. Yeah, you two were there for that.
He owned that merch line.
He was living.
It's definitely like want to make sure the kids feel included and get to like experience this life too, because they also sacrificed in letting me leave.
Of course.
You know, like it was really sweet. Like I told Easton I had to go, and he was like really understandably upset. But then he looked at me, he's like, "It's really nice you get to make money for our family though." And I was like, "Baby boy, I love you."
Okay.
You're so I was about to cry. Like, but that's like a thoughtful one. Crazy fan stories. I mean, like in a really early one, and I don't like paying it attention because like,
yes,
I actually saw the fan recently, and she was okay. Like, dude, 2012.
Okay,
we're playing
early.
Dude, so early. We're like supporting like A Loss for Words at the Worcester Palladium upstairs.
Hell yes.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was sold out, and we were like, this is sick.
Yeah.
But like leading up to that, somebody wrote fan fiction about Derek.
Oh no.
And I used to be like I still am pretty online, but I used to be like very vocal online. And of course, like I took this and just ran with it. And like, and you know, I sent it to my friends, and like, we were all like, it was wild. Like,
did they present it to you, or did you find it?
I found it.
Okay.
He was actually writing it.
He was actually
I'm not the author. But
that's actually what the story is.
I mean, I don't read fan fiction, as you would imagine.
Only about yourself.
Only
Derek.
Only
Derek.
when you're a tiny band and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God.
But
I forgot fan fiction was a thing.
Yeah, and it was honestly like a pretty normal one. It wasn't like weird. It wasn't like...
It was also very well written, actually.
No, I mean...
read it every night, actually.
No. It was just like, basically like... Derek was their boyfriend, and they like lived together. I mean, it was pretty innocent, all things considered. But
that's still wild early on, knowing that someone has written a story, like a made up story about you.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I think like the time when you're like, okay, maybe things are getting a little crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt strange, and we were still really small at the time. So like, you know, we were all just like, we were all just blown away by it. We were just like doing bits about it, being funny about it, and we met the girl at the show, and
oh no,
it was fine.
Yeah?
I mean, like, because her like picture was attached to it on like whatever fan fiction. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like it was obvious that it was her.
She wasn't hiding.
No, she wasn't hiding. And I just remember like at that time and just like everything and like meeting her and just being like, you're the fan fiction girl, and she was like so embarrassed.
Tyler,
what? Don't. It's the internet. It's fair game. You
and
put it on the public.
Early internet.
You put it online, like on like a Substack equivalent, whatever.
Probably Tumblr.
Yeah, probably Tumblr.
It actually was on Tumblr.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Because I used to search our hashtag. That's how I found it. Yeah.
See? Yep.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
Tumblr was all fan fiction.
Tumblr was huge in our come up. Absolutely huge.
Tumblr.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I met my husband on Tumblr.
That's crazy.
That's a story for a different time. But yeah. Shout out Tumblr.
Shout out your husband.
Yeah.
Thomas from England.
Thomas. Yep. Come on down, buddy.
Also so tall.
He is. Anyway, this isn't about Tom. He's not important.
It's about me, man.
Yeah, it is. The other tall guy in the room.
Back to Ty.
Yep.
Ooh, nice.
I was going to say, it's been a very weird journey. I feel like kind of watching you guys as a fan perspective, because I feel like I kind of blinked and State Champs was not the same State Champs that I know and love. Like, I still refer to Derek as like Glasses Derek.
Yeah.
And you as brown hair. Like, the blonde is a different version of you.
Well, of course, our origin story with you is much different.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, you were probably at one of our like first ever shows.
I was on that like first tour. Like, I saw you guys at. Yeah. It was really awkward.
It was not great.
It was such a time. But then also I remember like walking around in Target and you guys were on the screens. And it was Kings of the New Age. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
And the record before too.
Yeah. And I was like, wait a second. That's State Champs. And so, I mean, the fans are like, they stick around.
Yeah. I mean, we've done...
I was going to say to that, you do a really good job at keeping the fans like involved. I feel like.
What I was just going to say.
There we go.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like we do a good job at like engaging, being like, I don't know, personable.
Yeah. You guys are like, online chronically.
Yeah. I mean, and even at like VIPs, you know, like we never want them to feel stale. So like we do like the group photo, but then like with the, you know, the person, but then like we make it a point to go hang out and have conversations like one-on-one and talk, sign stuff, selfies, whatever. I mean, like, I know everyone says these things, but like you really can't do it without them.
Yeah.
And you would be an absolute fool to not appreciate them.
Right.
When certain fans step out of line or go over the edge, it like does feel bad, but it's not like, I don't know. You know, we've had to like get involved before, but like we're also people and we also have certain boundaries we're not willing to have crossed.
I mean, yes.
I just feel like with being vocal, you know, on all fronts, like, hey, what you did is out of pocket, but I still fuck with you. And like, I still appreciate you. Please don't do that again. You know, like.
I feel like if you have that kind of like, I don't know, attitude towards it, it kind of is like, it brings it, like it anchors it back down.
Yeah. And I was going to compliment you too. I got a small taste of like getting to see you guys interacting with people at Four Chord.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even a VIP situation. Y'all just went to merch and we got to watch you guys just take selfies and sign things. And you stayed there until basically the line was gone. Yeah. And you didn't have to do that, but that's such a generous thing with your time to give back to the fans.
I mean, if that's going to be the difference of you like liking and supporting this band, I'm happy to hang out with you for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's very obvious this is our livelihood, but it's also insanely obvious that we can't do it without the fans. So like if it's making a new fan or just like hanging out with one or seeing one,
keeping a relationship,
doing something like, I mean, I have my DMs open to a lot of fans and like, they'll be like, hey, like I know your family's here, but could you pop out for a quick photo? And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the expectation is set. Like I won't be out here long and I'm coming out here because you're asking me to, and I'm happy to do it. And thank you for being respectful of my time. Thank you for asking. Sometimes I say, no, I'm sorry. I actually have to go to the hotel with the kids right now. They're falling apart. And they're like, oh, I get it. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, just being open, just being communicative, just, you know, whatever. Even when shit hits the fan with us, like the fans demand answers and we give them to them.
And even, I mean, those interactions just mean so much. And obviously it's just like, it's a quick second, it's a quick photo to you. But even you mentioned like meeting your favorite artist that means something to you is such like a,
you waiting outside of a room.
Yeah. And it's cool that you can do that and you're gracious with your time.
Absolutely. I mean, even yesterday I was at the Canes next to Emo's and like I'm eating my freaking box combo and this dude is like
3 or 4 finger box combo.
The box combo comes with 4.
That is true.
Okay, sorry guys.
The 3 finger has a different name.
Combo.
I'm not fucking from here. I'm sorry.
No, you're Canes.
You need to go to Canes more.
Tom would be disappointed.
Tom. Yeah. So like this dude like was like, hey man, like I'm sorry. I know you're eating. Like, I just wanted to say hi. I drove 3 hours to be here. Like, we're so excited, whatever. And I was like, dude, like, I actually said I would shake your hand, but it's covered in grease. But I was like, thank you so much, man. Like, yeah, I'll see you in there, blah, blah, blah. And like, maybe me 5 years ago had been a little programmed to think like, this is my time. But like, at the end of the day, like, I don't want to have to hold on to any negativity. Just say what's up to somebody. If my friend came and interrupted me, it'd be a different story. So like, I'd be like, oh, hey dude, what's up? You know, I wouldn't be like, it's my time, get away.
Right.
You know? So just kind of like treating people like equally and, you know, just fucking chilling out and relaxing and not like, there are certain people that like talk about fans negatively in this scene or in probably all scenes, if we're honest. And that like sucks. And I don't want to be that person. If it makes your day to say what's up to the guitar player of a band you like in a Cane's while he's eating a box combo, like, dude, fucking do it. And I'll be like, yo, dude, what's up, man? Like, yeah.
And that's the story he's going to tell. He's going to be like, I ran into Ty from State Champs when I was
it happened at Yard House.
Before
you
the
were
show.
there. It happened at Yard House.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we all went to Yard House before when we were young. And
Yep.
Yeah, and this dude came up. He's like, yo, what's up, man? Like, I'm so stoked to see you. Came to all 4 of us. Yeah. There was like 15 of us there. It was a fucking huge table.
Yeah. Eating pasta.
Yelling about what cartoon characters you're sexually attracted to.
Okay, that's not what we were doing, first of all.
That's not what I was doing. Or you, I don't think. We were both on opposite. Like, it was like a horseshoe table. Mm-hmm. Me and L'Oreal got pushed
that was a day.
We showed up late because Hertz fucked up the rental car. It's fine.
Was that the shaky? Yeah, I saw the videos.
Dude, so brutal. But you know. Just be normal.
Just be normal. Don't make it weird.
Yeah.
Also, the fans don't make it weird. Like if I'm eating, just come say what's up.
Yeah.
If you ask me to get up for a photo, I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If you're just clear with what you're doing, it's like not a big deal.
Yeah.
Also, we'll do anything for kids. Like if a kid was like, can I get a photo? Yes.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. And I feel you have kids.
Even pre that though, we were all like,
really?
when fans or when kids are at shows. We were. I was once a child, if you can believe it. Was not born 6'2". But yeah, just be normal, just be nice, just be appreciative because like, and I think some of the people that have like kind of taken the other route, which is like no fan interaction, closed socials, not following even their own friends, like only posting band stuff. It's like, where's your career now? Because you thought you were too fucking good for it. You thought they'd always be here. And like now you're opening up tours still because you couldn't be fucking bothered just to be appreciative.
Just to be a human.
And who is that? No, I'm kidding.
Couple people come to mind.
So just speaking of the loyal fan base and everything, and I know you've mentioned kind of metrics, but how has the new record been received by fans, do you think? I know it's early on. And is there anything that like specific that you're hoping that they get out of the record? Or was it just this is what we wanted to make, putting it out, hoping the fans like it?
Just want them to like it.
Love it.
Never ever tell them what to pull from it. When people ask what songs are about, we typically wait a while to tell them because I want you to have your own meaning.
Yeah,
I want you to interpret it yourself. It'll mean more to you. Versus it being like a factoid, like actually Derek wrote this about like when Tyler tried to quit the band. That's like elevated story,
right?
And that has become like a fun little trivia fact instead of like it like everyone thought it was about a relationship. It's not. Well, it is. It's about my relationship with Derek.
It's a very
But yeah, like if it means more to you as like a breakup song or a "Don't break up with me" song or whatever, like I want that to mean that to you.
Sure, you want them to have that moment.
Yeah. What was the other part of the question?
How have the fans received it so far?
I think really well. I think really well. Something we noticed as well is not really fan, but like we have more friend support this time around.
Oh, really?
Last record, like no one posted, and yes, we noticed.
Fake friends.
Like
fake
industry friends, like people we've toured with, and like people that we would post about and whatever. Like
there was one last night that was being talked about. I saw Greg from Boys Like Girls shared it on his story.
Greg shared it. A surprising one was Brian Dales shared it. Shout out Brian Logan Dales. I mean, we are friends. I just like didn't think he'd post about it. I honestly don't think he really posts about a lot of music. So that's the thing. It's like people. I feel flattered. I feel honored. I feel it's cool.
Yeah.
The reception seems great. I did see actually last night, I was like trying to find videos and show stuff and I was lurking and I saw this person was like, I think I might go to the State Champ show just for Meet Me at the Altar and Daisy Grenade. And then I think I might leave. And then I saw that Ryan already responded to it. Ryan was like, you should absolutely come support bands. You're like, you don't have to stay for us. That's fine. But then the person was like, I think they felt like called out or seen or whatever. And they were like, hey, I'm actually listening to your new record right now. And it's actually really good and stuff like that. So it's like kind of back to that, kicking it back to like being personable and like, it's okay. The person said they only like music made by like women and that's fine. Like you're allowed to be preferential. I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't take it out on Daisy Grenade and Meet Me at the Altar. You don't want to see us or Knuckle Puck. Just leave. We won't be offended.
And also I know we've gone to shows specifically because we're fans of the opener and then normally we stick around. But like, it's whatever.
It's not a big deal.
That's kind of the point of touring with other bands.
Yeah. And to be fair though, we also go to shows where we have no idea who the opener is and then we fall in love with them.
Yeah. Which it's funny to watch the reverse happen. Because I found another tweet that basically said the same thing. It was like, I checked out State Champs because they're touring with Daisy Grenade.
Yeah, that's cool.
And like, that's nuts to me.
Yeah.
And they were like, I'm really liking what I'm hearing so far. I'm excited to see the show. And I was like, what the fuck?
See, that stuff with art though, like you just never know where people are going to find you or how you're going to pop up on their radar.
Yeah. Makes me feel kind of old though, that there's like a whole generation of fans that like don't even know who we are. Yeah. And they probably look at us like, damn, who are these old guys?
And they're very much in the scene, but just...
It's a different scene.
That is how I look at you guys,
It's true. You would be true in thinking that I'm old.
Yep.
Almost to mid-30s.
Almost. You're almost there. I'm trailing behind you. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think to kind of wrap it up, our last question that we always ask, kind of, right? Yeah, we ask everyone, what are you a fan of now? What are you listening to? What is happening?
Other than your own record.
Other than your own.
That's a cop-out.
You can plug State Champs by State.
We've already plugged State Champs by State Champs.
That's not going to be my answer, no way. I don't listen to a lot of music. I really don't. It's not music's fault. I'm just constantly overstimulated.
Tyler hates music.
Yeah.
I do hate a lot of music.
What's on your do not playlist?
Okay, let's not go there.
God,
we're going to get canceled.
No, we're not going to get canceled. No. I'm just going to piss a lot of people off when I say it's like the Beatles. Like, I don't like the Beatles.
They're up for a Grammy. Fair. How dare you?
Oh,
they're what?
Are.
They're up for a Grammy.
Yeah. Thanks to AI, half the band is dead.
That is wild.
And they're probably going to win. And bands that are fully alive and trying really hard are going to lose because of AI.
Correct.
And I like AI.
Okay, wait, what are you a fan of?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's so fair.
It's not nothing, but like, I mean, I really like pop country. I've been liking Mitchell Tenpenny's new record. It's named The Third. I mean, Dan and Shay put out...
Yeah, people don't know that. Like, you're a fan of that music.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have guilty pleasures here. We just have pleasures. Like, I remember when we were doing Around the World and Back, I kept listening to... Is it called 4 by One Direction? Yeah, I love that record. It's really good. And we would all like post about it, and fans like, oh my God, I can't believe like 1D, and like, we're like, dude, like, who cares? Yeah. If you're gonna make fun of me for liking One Direction, like, come on, there's so many other things to make fun of me for.
Yes.
But yeah, I really like pop country. I like that band, The Wildlife. I like Knox a lot.
Love Knox.
I do like a lot of like the indie rock stuff happening right now. But yeah, I don't listen to a lot. I have 2 small children. I'm usually listening to like meme songs or like kid songs or just them yelling. And then I just like don't want to have any more audio stimulus.
What do you want, silence or something?
Silence.
Yeah, and then also to be fair, I was listening to this record a lot, our record, because I had to. I had to like learn how to play it and do some like preparation stuff on it. Yeah. So that's been like a lot, but also my kids do like the record.
Yeah.
And they would ask for Hell of It by calling it All Night. They're like, put on All Night.
Aww.
And Easton really likes I Still Want To as well. So
that's amazing.
That's the other thing here is like, I have to listen to my own shit because they like it.
That sucks for you, man.
It does. I don't want to hear everybody but you at 8 a.m. But Easton does. And he's going to school for like 7 hours.
So you're
let
like,
him listen
I'm going to give it
music.
to him. Yep.
Yeah. What else do I like? I don't know. Where's my phone?
You like Canes?
Not food.
Like
talking music. Let's hit the
hit the Spotify.
Hit the recently played.
Yeah. Let's see what we got.
Oh boy. I love this game. We played this with, who was it?
Oh, Dream Phone. I love Dream Phone.
Do they do Talking to Myself? Or is that?
Dream Phone's really good.
Yeah.
The new Sabrina Carpenter record. Really good. Short and sweet. It's been out for a while, but...
for many a Grammy.
For Grammy, yep.
Rightfully so. Better win, not the fucking Beatles.
That's going to be the top.
I also don't like old movies. It's just old stuff.
That's fair. You know?
I like high def, good quality. And when it comes to music, I'm like a little like, I need it to be exciting.
That's fair.
That's very fair.
Yeah. Like I'm not like into like super slow down tempo, sad stuff. Yeah, literally my thing is 4 meme songs, the 1975 Mitchell Tenpenny, Forever Came Calling.
Oh yeah.
Meme song, Better Off, All American Rejects, meme song, meme. This one just says wet fart sounds.
That's amazing.
This song is called Screaming Goats. It's also
Screaming Goats.
Danny Go, more kid songs, Kid Song, Transit, State Champs. Yeah,
that's what he's listening to.
There we go.
Well,
Kids songs.
Kids songs.
And meme songs.
And meme songs. Whoever makes those, why?
They get
people they get
listening.
royalties.
Yeah.
Exactly. Grapple on the kids. It's crazy.
Well, thank you so much for taking an hour out of your time to talk to us on your second night of tour.
It's an hour you will never get back.
I know.
Yeah, happy to do it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ty.
We're excited for the show tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Go listen to State Champs by State Champs for State Champs with the support of State Champs.
In collaboration with State Champs.
And go see them on tour.
Please.
State Champs.
State Champs.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Ty, for being on our podcast.
We hope you enjoyed that hour-long conversation of us just
quite literally yapping.
Just yapping away.
Do you guys catch the fight that him and I almost broke out into? Because I feel very passionately about what I think is an album. And apparently I'm wrong.
According to Ty.
He's probably right on that one. But this episode was really fun. Like you kind of said in the intro, usually we say it sounds like we're talking to friends, but this one, quite literally, we were talking to a friend.
Yeah.
And we could have kept going.
Yeah. But we talked about so much good stuff. Obviously had so much to talk about with the new album and kind of the directions Champs are going. We also, my favorite part of the conversation was talking about fans. Because I feel like Ty had a lot to say about that. I also, the one girl that had been to like over 170 shows.
Yeah.
That
ridiculous.
Blew my mind.
That blew my mind. I'm still like, who are you guys? Yeah. Like, it gets really trippy to like having people like just wearing Champ shirts, like out in festivals.
Well, I guess it makes sense because they were playing there. But
they were playing the next day, though.
Oh yeah, when we were at Four Chord, we it was like a running joke where we were seeing more State Champ shirts than like any other band.
Yeah, or like even like the bands that were like playing like on Sunday. They didn't play.
Yeah,
Sunday they didn't play, and like we were still seeing like State Champ shirts. And we're like, all right, we had a count going.
Yep.
Same thing in Asbury Park.
Oh yeah,
for when we were young.
I was gonna say
that's not it.
Nope.
Sad Summer.
Sad Summer.
Yeah.
Yep. Then I was gonna say So What. I was like, that's wrong.
That's wrong again. Yeah.
I think you even said you spotted some like old school Champ shirts.
Yes, I love seeing the generational Champs merchandise.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Again, if you guys aren't watching this, you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. This sticker right here, that blue guy is like one of the OG like Champs first rollout of stickers.
I love
that they used to give away.
I was about to say, was it like free or if you like
just on their table,
to their merch table
and said hey, and so I
love those.
That was something that I just like I kept in a box somewhere, and then when we were doing the wall, I was like, that's a fun little Easter egg for all of this. But yeah, so it's fun to see things happen from that to
now.
Now
the
trophy,
and just simple. Such dedicated fans. And like I said, kind of in the intro, like I would consider them a legacy pop punk band for especially like kind of our age group.
Yeah, our generation really. Yeah. They do have like a dedicated like Champs fam.
Oh,
for sure.
Oh yeah.
They roll so deep and so hard. There's even people that like we notice and they'll comment like on our stuff, and I'm like, you guys have seen them so many times.
Yeah.
It's wild. But yeah, the guys are so appreciative of it. And also they like stay connected to that group. I will say Champs is one of those bands that is very involved in their fan base.
Yes.
Like and Ty kind of went in this. Ty, like they know the fans that have been to like 170 shows.
And he mentioned this in the interview, but they like made her a cake for her 100th show.
Yeah.
Which is so
who does
cool.
that? That's so fun. Yeah. I love that. That's something that they don't have to do.
No,
but they
not
do.
at all.
Yeah.
But
I loved it.
Yeah, and I love that about them. And I'm so like I really appreciate artists that are that way because I think it's so easy as you get later in your career to kind of just like, I don't feel like take for granted is the right word, but just like you have an established fan base so you don't have to try as hard, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like the obligation to try hard is not there anymore.
It's not a top priority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the bands and artists that continue to do it, I have high regard for.
I do think it's fun too. We were able to just kind of how long they've been a band and how long they've been in people's lives. their lives personally have changed so much.
Yeah.
And so like they talked about, you know, like how they've gotten like members have gotten married. Like Ryan is, I think, the newest like married member. Yeah. Also, I wonder if we kept it in the episode, his like, he walked in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun cut. But that and like Ty's had like Clark since he's been in this band.
Yeah. And he talked about fans that like brought him gift cards or like gifts
blankets,
for Clark.
The blankets with the t-shirts.
Yeah.
And, like,
oh my gosh.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. It's just, it makes it feel more like a family. Like being a fan of something, you feel like you're like involved. And it makes it feel like the band cares and like you actually get to like a little touch point in their life, which is fun and cool.
It is, yeah. It definitely breaks a little bit of that like imagination or that barrier of like we are too important to talk to you, to acknowledge you.
Correct.
That's very much not there at all.
At all.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I feel like that's kind of like the most, like, that's really what I got like from this episode.
That's my favorite like little talking point.
It was honestly quite literally like the perfect backing the barricade because we do like obviously everything we say is like for the fans and like about the fans, by the fans. And that Champs is a very much for the fans band.
I feel like it was a good one because we've all, you know, we've had such a mix of like people that work in the industry and then also like newer artists. But it really is fun to talk to those bands that have been around for over a decade and have that like that fan base that follows them around so intently and get to talk about that and like dive into it. So I feel like that's something that we haven't done too much on the podcast yet.
Yeah.
So it was really, really cool conversation.
Yeah. Their album that they just released that they're touring on right now, State Champs, by State Champs,
for State Champs,
with relation to State Champs, in collaboration with State Champs, is a great album. And it is such like almost like a reintroduction into like them. They're like introducing themselves and kind of like claiming. The way that I think I described this album was like they're really fucking like planting the flag of like this band, we've been around, this is their 5th like album and it's like self-titled, like it's the deserving to be the self-titled.
Self-titled is a big deal.
It is. It's a very much like reflective of their old sound, but like in today's world, I think is how I kind of give it. And I think it's a no skip album. Yeah. Personally, it takes me a fucking lot to say that about an album. I take this very seriously and like the environment of which I listen to a new album in its whole entirety.
We have had these in-depth conversations of no skip albums intently. It's not a something that we give lightly.
Yeah, I think I gave it like a 9.7.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. It was cool getting to do this interview like the day after the album came out. But I like kind of wish it would, not really, but I wish it would have been a little later because I didn't know the album. I'd only listened to it once or twice through. But it really, really is. It is pretty close to a no-skip album, if not a no-skip album.
Yeah.
So if you haven't listened to it yet, this is your sign.
I don't know what you're doing.
What are you doing? Yeah, it's been out for a month
minute
now, almost.
November 8th?
Oh, yeah, it'll have been out for a month.
Something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah, so it was such a good time. Really appreciative of the guys and of Ty. Everybody on their crew, so fucking dope.
Oh, yeah.
So welcoming, so, just chill. We have so many friends, I feel like now, always, and forever.
They're just such a good group of people. Put on a fantastic show, always.
By the time this comes out, they'll have I think maybe a couple of dates left or something like that. But they're moving. They're not stopping.
No.
So like this was, their first like headlining tour of this album, but they're doing a lot of stuff coming up. So you'll have hi, I just hit the mic. You will have a lot of opportunities to see them, and you do not want to miss when they come by your city, or even if you have to travel a little bit, make a trip out of it. It is so worth it.
L'Oreal did that, and she had a Dallas date as well, so she did that for.
It's easy, guys.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And like truly, the guys Ryan will like he hopped down like multiple times to like say hi to people. Like
L'Oreal got the best videos of after the show when kind of they were clearing the stage. A few fans like stayed at the barricade. Ryan
kids
hopped down and was just like greeted everyone, hugged, signed things.
There's a video of this like little kid. He's like, or her. I don't.
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, I'm 8, but I've been a fan for 7 years. I've been listening to you for 7 years, and it was just like
it was so cute,
adorable. Yeah. So again, very just genuine guys. They are like the best boys. Love them. Yeah.
So if you don't already, follow them on everything. If they are playing anywhere near you, you got to go.
If they're not, you got to
drive.
Go. Yeah.
Fly. I don't know.
Make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great time. Great album. Great people. You're not going to want to miss everything that they're about to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for checking out this episode. We'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Yep. And as always, like we said, follow along State Champs. We'll have them linked, all of their socials linked below.
Yep.
Follow us.
Follow us. We are on all those social medias. You can rate this episode /rate our podcast to help us,
be found on the internet.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
So cool and helps us out the most. You don't know.
And we say this every episode, and it's so annoying, but it really, really does help. Any podcast that you listen to, if you rate it, leave a review, anything that you can do, every little thing helps so much. Or
even just sharing it.
Yeah, share it with people, share it on your stories.
Yeah. If you tag us, we'll make sure to share it too.
Yeah, we'll like it, we'll share it, all the things.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. We see every single share that we get. And
we really do.
Appreciate every single one so much.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening along. We hope you enjoyed it.
We really did. Yeah. And again, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. With a new episode for you.
We'll see you then.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.